All right, listeners, ready to go deep on Kim K.
Let's do it.
This Wikipedia page is massive.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know she's reality TV royalty, built a business empire. But seriously, how much of it's just playing the fame game?
Right. Or did she, rewrite the rules?
That's what we're going to find out.
Okay, so rewind to the beginning.
Back to the beginning.
L.A., 1980.
Oh, wow, okay.
Robert Kardashian
OJ's lawyer.
and Kris Jenner. Cameras were basically on this family before Kim was even born.
No kidding. Gotta wonder what that does to a kid growing up, you know? All that
It's a bit-
attention, media scrutiny.
Totally. And she's hanging out with Paris Hilton way before most of us even knew what social media was.
Like a masterclass in fame.
Exactly. And those business smarts, they were there early. Story goes she totals her car at 16.
Ooh.
Dad says, I'll get you a new one, but you cover any future damage.
Wow.
Learning about risk and responsibility early on.
That's a heck of a lesson at 16. So she's got this front row seat to fame, knows how to cut a deal, and then, boom, stylist for Brandy, then Paris Hilton.
It's all kind of lining up, isn't it?
Yeah. But even then, there's that whole credit card thing.
Oh, right, with Brandy's mom's American Express.
Allegations, a settlement not exactly picture perfect.
It does show, though, this is what comes with the territory, right?
Mhm.
Legal stuff, money stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be a theme, for sure. Okay, fast forward, 2007, the sex tape with Ray J gets out. Huge EE story.
Could have been the end for most people.
Right. But instead, she sues Vivid Entertainment,
Wow.
gets a reported $5 million settlement,
No way.
and then uses all that attention to launch Keeping Up with the Kardashians later that year.
That's genius, actually.
Total power move,
Yeah.
takes control of the narrative, and boom, reality TV dynasty is born.
14 years on E spin-offs galore.
Everyone knows them. Think they would have made it this big without that whole thing.
Hard to say.
Hmm.
But back then, reality TV was new. They were figuring it out as they went.
They got what people wanted, though, didn't they?
The money, the
Yeah,
drama.
oh, look at this crazy life thing.
And Kim was always front and center.
All
She's
right.
got charisma, and a knack for those must-see TV moments.
It wasn't just a show, though. She pops up in Disaster Movie, does Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, keeping busy, keeping that name out there.
Exactly. Then come the classic celeb moves. Dash boutiques, those workout DVDs, fragrances.
Standard playbook, right?
Yeah.
Until Curveball, the mobile game.
Oh, yeah. Kim Kardashian. Hollywood. And it made bank. Millions. Who knew people wanted to, live their Kardashian fantasy life on their phones?
Smart move, though, really. Early days of mobile gaming, she was ahead of the curve.
Totally. Then there's the Selfish book, all selfies. I'll admit, I was like, really? But the reviews,
Okay.
yeah, deep, even moving. She spun something kind of narcissistic into something more.
She's good at that, isn't she?
Yeah.
Flipping the script. And don't forget the Kimoji app.
Emojis. Everyone had them.
Another trend, but made hers.
And let's not forget, she's one of the OG social media influencers, raking it in with endorsements.
Hundreds of thousands per post. Mind-blowing.
Changed the game, honestly. But for me, the big shift. KKW Beauty and KKW Fragrance, 2017.
Oh, yeah.
Billion-dollar valuation. That's empire building, not just branding.
Leveraging everything. Her name, the social media savvy, and she knows beauty stuff, no doubt.
But the products were good, too. I think a lot of folks were surprised.
It wasn't just slapping a label on something. She was involved. Every step. You could tell she cared. And that mattered.
All right, gotta talk about Skims, the shapewear company.
Yeah.
Billion-dollar biz now, but remember the original name?
Kimono.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Huge backlash, cultural appropriation accusations.
Rightfully so.
She listened, though.
Yeah.
Rebranded to Skims, and boom, success.
$4 billion valuation. Insane. Shows how
Yeah.
resilient she is, And Skims itself, it's inclusive, the sizes, the shades.
It's smart, and it works. Plus those collabs, the Olympics, Fendi, the NBA, she thinks big.
Like that deal with her dad way back when.
Yeah.
Always looking for the next opportunity.
She's always moving, isn't she? But it's more than just business, right? There's this whole image thing she's cultivated.
Evolving all the time. Makes you wonder, is she playing the game or did she create it?
And right as her businesses are taking off, she starts getting into activism. It's like, wait, there's more to this.
It does complicate things, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly she's meeting with Trump about prison reform.
Yeah.
Working on cases like Alice Marie Johnson, life sentence for a first-time drug offense.
Crazy.
And Van Jones, a big-time activist, he credits her with getting the First Step Act passed.
She wasn't messing around. She put in the work, studying law, taking the baby bar,
4 tries. That's not easy.
Seriously. And it's not just prisons. Armenian genocide recognition, donations to Armenian organizations.
She's got strong beliefs, no doubt, uses her voice, even when it's going to be controversial.
And remember that story, helping those Afghan women soccer players get to England after the Taliban took over.
Let's put your money where your mouth is, risking a lot to help people.
All right, but it wouldn't be Kim K without the personal life, right? Relationships, marriages, the whole media circus.
It's a soap opera for sure.
Yeah.
That early marriage to Damon Thomas.
And then Kimmy, her and Kanye.
That was a whole era.
They were everywhere, pushing buttons.
Fashion, race, what it even means to be famous.
They were the power couple, rewriting the rules.
Exactly. And then, of course...
Divorce, 2022.
But honestly, pretty amicable, all things considered. Focused on the kids, co-parenting.
And then Pete Davidson. Short, but everyone had an opinion.
Out of left field. But I guess it shows she doesn't care what people think, does her own thing.
Totally. She's also been open about converting to Armenian Apostolic Christianity, baptizing her kids in the Armenian church.
A whole other side to her, right? We forget there's depth there sometimes.
And she's had her struggles, been super honest about the preeclampsia, placenta accreta during pregnancies.
That's got to be scary to talk about so publicly, especially when you're that famous. But it helps other women, too.
No doubt. And then the Paris robbery, 2016. That was terrifying.
Totally. A reality check on the whole fame thing, I'd imagine.
So with all this, the businesses, the activism, the life, how much is she worth?
As of 2024, Forbes says $1.7 billion.
Billion. With a B. Started with a little clothing store. Now it's endorsements, companies, investments.
She turned the whole celebrity thing upside down. She's not just the face, she's the owner.
Makes you rethink that whole famous for being famous thing, doesn't it?
Totally. Maybe there's more to it than we thought.
Speaking of which, remember when she was on American Horror Story? Delicate?
Her acting debut.
And the critics loved it.
I know, right? Like, she can do it all. Business, activism, and acting.
The reviews were seriously good. She took on a tough role and people respected that.
She's ambitious, wants to keep growing creatively, doesn't care if people doubt her.
It's like she's using all these different things, the show, the companies, the activism, now acting to build something. A
more complex image, for sure. She's in control, and it's changing all the time.
Makes you wonder what's next, right? What industry is she going to shake up now?
Seriously. It's like she's a force of nature. Always changing, always pushing things forward.
It's kind of inspiring, even if her life is totally out of reach for most of us.
I get that. But I think she's also humanized the whole celebrity thing a bit. She shows her flaws, her struggles.
Yeah, that makes her relatable, even when it's all so over the top.
Exactly. So, to wrap things up, what's the one thing you'd want our listeners to remember about all this?
After this whole deep dive, I'm kind of blown away, honestly. I thought I knew Kim K, but... It's a lot more than that.
It's a good reminder, right? The headlines are just the surface. When you go deeper, motivations, challenges, successes, it changes things.
Big time. What stands out most to you after going through all this?
For me, it's got to be how much she changes, how much she grows. New business, new role, new cause. She's always moving, always adapting.
And she's not afraid to fail either. She learns and comes back stronger.
Like she's always one step ahead, seeing what's coming next.
Yeah.
And she uses her platform to push the boundaries.
Totally. She's playing the game and winning. But it's more than just that.
Right. You can call her famous for being famous, but she's a smart businesswoman. She's had a real impact.
Billion-dollar empire.
Yeah.
And she did it her way. She's not just the face. She's the creator.
And she's using that power for good, too. Prison reform, that's serious stuff.
It's almost like she's this walking contradiction, reality star and businesswoman and activist, fashion icon and body positivity champion.
She keeps us guessing, that's for sure.
So is she a product of the fame machine, or did she build it?
The big question. Tough to say. Maybe. Both.
I think you're right. Benefited from it, but also shaped it.
She's used the media, but it's used her too. It's a complicated game, and she's playing it masterfully.
And through it all, family, businesses, the activism, it's kind of amazing she keeps it all going.
It's exhausting just thinking about it.
Right. But that's part of why people are drawn to her, I think. She's larger than life, does it all, even if it's totally unattainable for us normal folks.
And she doesn't hide her flaws either. The struggles, the insecurities, the mistakes.
Yeah. It
makes her human.
Yeah. Even when it's all so. Kim Kardashian, So last thoughts for our listener. What do you hope they walk away with?
This can sound cheesy, but people are complex. They're not always what they seem. And the ones we think we know best, we probably don't know at all.
That's good advice, not just for celebrities, but for everyone. Right. Always more to the story.
Exactly. And hey, maybe there's a bit of Kim K in all of us. That drive, that desire to be seen, to make a difference.
I like that. So listeners, keep digging. The world of Kim K is deep. There's always more to learn. And on that note, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
It's wild, right? She just keeps going. Like, what can't she do?
Seriously, I went from keeping up to, like, legal textbooks with this woman.
And it worked. Critics loved it. She
Right.
proved she's not just a reality star.
Definitely flipped the script on a lot of folks with that one. So
Yeah.
big picture, what's your takeaway from all this Kim K craziness?
Honestly, people are more complicated than we give them credit for. Headlines, social media, it's all surface level.
Yeah, gotta dig deeper.
Exactly. And when you do, with Kim, it's not what you expect. This drive, this ambition, and using it for stuff that matters.
Right, like prison reform isn't exactly what you picture when you think Kardashian.
But it shows how much she's grown, and it makes you think.
What is the Kim K story? Did she ride the fame wave or did she, like, create the wave?
Tough question. Got to be both, right? She's playing the game, but she's changing the rules at the same time.
I think that's it, yeah. She's benefited from the whole system, but she's also, like, hacked it. Billion-dollar empire, doing it her way.
And think about it. She's got the family, the businesses, now acting. How does she even sleep?
No kidding. It's exhausting just watching her life from the outside.
But that's kind of the point, isn't it? She's aspirational, this over-the-top, unattainable thing that we're all kind of fascinated by.
Totally. So, final thoughts for our listeners. What do you hope they take away from all this?
I guess don't judge a book by its cover, you know? Especially with someone like Kim Kardashian. Dig a little deeper. You might be surprised what you find.
Love it. And listeners, if this deep dive got you hooked, there's a whole world of Kim K out there to explore. Keep questioning, keep digging. There's always more to learn. And on that note, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.